Hey guys, it's Katie, and today I'm going to teach you how to really make a statement with your necklace design. This necklace is super fun to make, and it's pretty easy once you break it down into segments. I kind of want to walk you through what's going on here. These are all segments of little quick links put together with little connectors. And if you've never worked with quick links, we sell them at JTV and they are incredible. So that's what these all are. And these are even the small ones up here on this cord. So I'm going to show you how to make this and I hope that you enjoy it. All right, so let's go over the tools and supplies we're going to need for this project. I've written down all that you'll need if you want to do this design exactly. You'll need 23 of these little quick link connectors, 103 of the small circle, 7 of the medium circle, 8 of the large oval, 15 ball-end head pins, 15 6mm metal beads, 16 3mm metal beads, 8 fancy gemstone nuggets, this is blue opal, and then 7 pear-shaped gemstones. And these are top drilled. So then to wrap these pairs, we'll need some 26 gauge wire. And then we're gonna need this cord with end caps and a little extender chain that has a clasp on it and some glue. And then as far as tools go, we'll need a round nose plier, flat nose plier. This is my Xuron tweezer nose plier that I really like for squeezing these little connectors together, a one-step looper, and a flush cutter. Okay, so to make this necklace, you're basically just making 2 components that you can see right here. This is one, and this is the other. So you're gonna make 8 of these and 7 of these. With your 26 gauge wire, cut about 6 inches. And we're gonna wrap our teardrop bead. So just put it through the top hole and bring both tails up, like so. And then just above the point here, you're gonna squeeze those together, like that. And then with your round nose plier, you're gonna grab just above the top, push that away from you, and then readjust, grabbing both of those wires and roll it back towards you. We're just making a classic loop here. And then take your quick link, this medium circle, and slide it on. And then with I like to use my round nose plier here to grab both of those loops like that, and then just make a coil. Okay, and then cut that in the back. And make sure you press that down with your chain nose plier. This is one of the things I always forget to connect my quick link at this point, so make sure you don't forget that. Okay, so now we're gonna put our little metal bead on our head pin. And using our one-step looper, we're just gonna make a quick loop. And to use this tool, you just stick your head pin through with the patent pending facing up, through and through that little hole in the side. And then all you do is squeeze. And you have a perfect little loop. Okay, so we're gonna use that tool also to make this eye pin part. And a good trick for this would be to go ahead and cut 7 pieces that are exactly the same size. I would cut 7 pieces of 3-inch 22 gauge segments like that. So cut all those, and then if you want, you can do all this part at the same time just so it's quicker. But the way I make eye pins with this tool is I'm gonna just use the very tip of this wire, and I'm gonna put it in my tool just that far, just so that it reaches right there, so that it'll loop just the very end. And if it goes over a little bit like that, it's fine. You can just trim that off just a hair. Perfect. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other end. Whoop. Okay. And then you're going to want to make sure those little pieces are closed. Okay, so now we're gonna just connect these pieces together using this little peanut, is what we call them, to connect our quick links. So slide it onto the small circle, and all you have to do is squeeze. Let me just show you. See how easy that is to use the quick link? Okay, so just connect that, and then you will drop this little eye pin on to the other side and squeeze that. Okay, so then here, I'm actually going to go ahead and close up the loop of this little metal bead and open this side back up. And slide on that metal bead, and then slide on your medium round circle. So this one's actually a little bit longer than that, but that's okay. When you cut your eye pin pieces the same length at the beginning, then everything will work out perfectly. All right, so let's make the other one. And remember, you're gonna wanna make 7 of these. All right, now we're gonna make 8 of this nugget component, and we're gonna stack them on this head pin, starting with those 3mm metal beads. Go 1, then string your opal, and then your big bicone, or whatever metal bead you chose, and then 3mm. And then once again, we're gonna grab our 1-step looper and make a loop at the top of this. Go ahead and close that loop with your flat nose plier. Okay, so that part is finished. And now the rest of it is just using these little peanuts to connect everything. So once again, we're just going to take the small piece, put it through the top loop, squeeze, and we're actually gonna go and squeeze that other part down and put the second one in the bottom loop. We're almost like creating our own chain here. Squeeze the top one. And then in the bottom one, we'll put our large oval and that piece we just made with the fancy nugget. And then we will squeeze that. And we're done. So just a reminder, you're gonna make 8 of these, 7 of these. All right, so now we're gonna grab our cord and start stringing. And I used this cord, we actually call it climbing rope, but I'm not sure it's made for climbing, but it's just a thick cord and you can use anything that you want really. So I've already started stringing a little bit. And the pattern is 1 small link here, and then 1 of your nuggets, segments, and then you do 6 small circles, and then you do your drop segment, and then you do 6, and then your nugget, and then 6, and then your drop segment, and so on. So you always have 6 of the small circles in between each segment. Another thing to note is I like to put my bigger nugget beads in the center of the necklace to give it a nice shape. So now I'm finished stringing and I need to glue on my end caps and connect my clasp. If you buy this cord from JTV, it comes with these little end caps which fit perfectly on here. So what I like to do is in the end cap, I actually like to put my glue there. And I usually like to have a piece of plastic somewhere to just rest that on while it dries. Keeps everything clean. Make sure you trim off all those weird ends before you glue. And then test out your cap. Okay. When that's dry, you can add your little extender clasp. So I'm using super glue gel that has a big crazy beast on the front of it. If you're wanting to know, I find this to be the best glue for most of my projects because it doesn't dry instantly, but it holds, I mean, it's just incredible. So that's what I'm using, and this should be dry in 5 minutes, but I always tend to let my pieces sit for a couple of hours just to make sure everything's dry. All right, so I'm gonna connect my extender chain. I've got my little lobster claw with a jump ring. And I'm just gonna open that up. My pliers. And slide that onto my clasp. Up. And on the other side, I just have some scrap chain with a little dangle on the end like we made before. Just a cute little accent. Open up that last link and slide it onto my other side. All right. That's all there is to it. I hope you guys enjoyed making this necklace. All right, so let's go back over the tools and supplies you'll need for this project. You'll need all the things on this list. You'll need 23 of these little connectors, 103 of the small circle links, 7 medium circles, 8 large ovals, 15 ball end head pins, and then you're gonna need, depending on what you use, I used 15 of the 6mm metal beads and 16 of the 3mm metal beads, 8 fancy gemstone nuggets, 7 pear-shaped gemstone beads, and then you've got your cord with end caps, clasp and extender chain, some glue. I like these little tweezer nose pliers for this project. They get right up in there. A round nose plier, flat nose plier, flush cutter, and the one-step looper. And then you'll need 26 gauge wire for wrapping your pear-shaped gems and the 22 gauge wire for those long eye pins. If you'd like to purchase any of the tools or supplies we used, check out the links in the description below. And speaking of links, what designs would you like to see with quick links? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. So now that you know how to make the quick links statement necklace, you can say, I made this.